Hello everybody, Green Island Gardens again. World Earth Day today, and this year the focus is on restoring our natural earth and the natural processes that go on. So I'm just going to show you how at Green Island, here at Green Island, we like to look after our soil, and we think very much about maintaining its structure and fertility and not using artificial fertilisers and pesticides, etc. The most basic way is that we recycle all the kitchen waste and we compost it. So if we look in one of our compost bins, we have a row of 4 here. This is the most recent compost that's gone in. It's all saved in biodegradable bags which go into the compost bin, and then it's left for about a year in these bins. We don't need to turn it or do anything to it at all. If I just ask Matt to come in and help us, we can show you some that's rotted down at the bottom here. So if he just lifts the bin, and at the bottom here you can see this lovely stuff we've got here. The eggshells haven't broken down quite well enough yet, but this is fantastic, lovely compost, natural as you could get, and we recycle this, putting it back onto the vegetable garden, which we don't need to use any artificial fertilisers, as well as improving the structure of the soil. Okay, so here we've got a large pile of leaf mould. You can imagine, having 20 acres of woodland, we have an enormous amount of leaves that come down in the winter. And rather than waste those, I have a lovely mower which picks them all up, mulches them, and then mechanically dumps them in a pile for me. And we keep all these leaves in a pile for about a year and let them compost and rot down. And then you can see Matt in the background. The pile at the back is last year's pile. This is the most recent one here. This is composted down and it's ready to go onto the bed as a beautiful mulch or soil improver. So we use this in areas where the soil's too heavy. It helps retain the moisture in the summer, and it improves the structure as well. Another way we recycle some of the goodness into our soil is by reusing all the bark and the trees that we have to fell, or the dead ones that fall down. We chip them all up, mulch them, and then we put this mulch, which is bark or wood chip mulch, back onto the beds, and we use this as a mulch. So it does keep in the moisture, it reduces weed growth, and as it breaks down, it does improve the soil as well. So over the years we've added lots and lots of this to the beds. This is the time of year we'll add it. We'll do our spring clearance, clear all the beds, weed them, and then put this mulch on top of the beds, on top of the soil, which will keep the moisture in for about a month longer than it would otherwise do if we didn't put the mulch on. It also improves the appearance of the soil as well as improving the structure. We can see the mulch going onto the beds here. This is a particularly dry area of soil, so we'll give it a nice thick mulch. Matt tips it out. I will then just spread it around all the plants, getting it nicely up to the neck of them all. Stop the weeds growing in amongst. These lovely little fritillaries, pallidiflora they're called. They're sweet at this time of year. So it not only improves the appearance, but it keeps the moisture in and reduces the weed growth right throughout the season. So even when we've used the log edgings, as we have done round a lot of the beds, those of you that are familiar with Green Island Gardens, and we have to replace them, we still don't burn and get rid of the wood. We stack it up and put it somewhere to the side where it won't be seen, and allow it to decompose naturally. And this provides wonderful home for a variety of insects and bugs and creatures, all that are really important in breaking down and recycling all these nutrients back into the earth. So this will eventually all end up as compost, back and goodness going back into the soil. It also provides lovely hibernating places for hedgehogs and things as well. And in the same vein, I don't like to take from the lawn when we mow it. I don't collect up the cuttings and dispose of them. I tend to just leave them to mulch down and break down naturally, feeding the lawn as they decompose. So we're always very conscious of the structure of our soil and the fertility of it, and maintaining it here at Green Island. I would encourage everyone out there who's doing any sort of gardening to do the same thing as well. Just recycle as much of the earth's natural goodness back into the soil as we can.